Hey there everyone, so on today's video I will be going over the ASUS Transformer Mini Tablet on the things that I like and don't like about it and just how well it performs through daily usage. So let's find out who this tablet is for. So I've had my eye on this tablet for so long. I was looking at this tablet since December of 2016, and what was holding me back from buying it was that the display was not a full HD display and that it lacked a USB Type-C port. So those were the main reasons holding me back. And I read a couple reviews on this, and a lot of people complained about the 1280 by 800 resolution on this tablet. And honestly, I've seen other tablets with that screen resolution that do look bad, but the display panel ASUS is using on this tablet looks way better. So after using it for about 2 weeks, I really don't mind it because it looks good. Unless you have your face with your nose touching the screen all the time, then yeah, you will notice the pixels. But for the most part, the screen looks good. So I would recommend you take a look at this tablet in your local electronics store to see if you're satisfied with the display or if that's going to be a big issue for you. So a good thing about the screen on this is that it manages to get really bright so you can use it outdoors. It gets as bright as 400 nits and the viewing angles is good. So the tablet comes with a very short charging cable, just under 3 feet in length. I don't know why they decided to put such a short cable in there. So this is using a micro USB cable, so in case you want a longer cable you can buy one separately. But it's not that big of an issue for me because I don't use the tablet while it's charging because of the outstanding battery life. ASUS claims that you can get up to 11 hours of video playback on it, but I've been getting around 9 hours on it and it's still pretty good for me. Charging though, that takes a while. You can expect it to fully charge in 4 hours. So a cool thing is that the stylus is included in the box, so you don't have to worry about spending extra money for it. The ASUS pen is using the N-Trick technology, the same technology found in the Surface 4 pen, so the Surface 4 pen will work with the ASUS tablet, and I'll go over that more further in the video. The ASUS pen is a very good looking pen, and it has a textured aluminum design, and the tip here is plastic and it is pressure sensitive with 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity. It has 2 configurable buttons on the side here, and on the end of the cap there is a clip, so you can clip it onto your pocket of your dress shirt or the inside of your pants pockets. You can unscrew the end here to access the battery. This is using a quadruple A battery, a fairly thin battery, and according to ASUS it should last you up to 10 months of usage, which is a decent amount of battery life for the stylus, so you don't have to worry about the pen dying on you quickly. You can pick up a backup battery after you hit 7 or 8 months, just in case. So now let's take a look at the tablet itself. So a lot of people are calling this the Surface Tablet Mini clone because it straight out copied the design language of the Surface tablet, which a lot of other companies are also doing. I really like the metallic finish ASUS gave to this tablet. It makes it look more expensive than it is. The tablet is composed of a strong but incredibly light magnesium aluminum alloy, and it weighs 790 grams, just under 800 grams, so with the keyboard and all. So the built-in kickstand is very sturdy and it has a 170-degree angle of opening, and it's great for when you are drawing on it. The surface of the tablet is very prone to scratches, so I would recommend getting a case for it depending on how you will be handling this tablet. On mine, I already got a couple scratches on it, so I ended up getting a case for it, and the case fits the keyboard as you can see here. It's a nice cover. It adds some thickness to it and a little bit of weight, but it's something that I'd rather have than end up beating up the tablet more, because the tablet does get slippery and I almost dropped mine on tile twice, so I would encourage you to think about it if you're on the move a lot like I am. On the left side here sits all the ports. There's a 3.5mm headphone jack for audio consumption, and next to that is a full USB 3.0 port so you can plug your mouse in, or a USB dongle to give you more ports. Then here is a micro USB port used for charging the tablet, and the last port here is a micro HDMI out port. Up here is a micro SD card slot for expandable memory. I have a 32GB memory in there for photos and documents. On the back here is a pretty quick and accurate fingerprint reader, top centered. You have to make sure you rest your finger on it for a few seconds. You can't really tap it as it doesn't always recognize it, so resting your finger on it helps a lot. I really like that they implemented the fingerprint sensor on the tablet itself instead of the keyboard like I've seen on a couple of 2-in-1 tablets. Inside the tablet rests 4 gigs of RAM, and my version here has a 64 gigabytes of internal storage. You can get the one with 124 gigabytes if you need that, but it is going to be a little bit more expensive. I got this tablet at the Microsoft store, and this is the Signature Edition tablet, meaning it doesn't come with any bloatware, so I didn't have to sit around uninstalling unnecessary apps to free up memory. Now let's take a look at the speakers. So I'm just going to give you a quick example of how loud the speaker is, and I was really impressed with the speakers on this tablet. It does get pretty loud, so I'm just going to go ahead and play a video for you guys. After going at around 88% of the volume, the sound starts to kind of crackle up, and it doesn't sound as good, but it is pretty loud. It's not as clear as I would have liked it to be, but this is impressively loud.
So you don't run into any problems later on.
A cool thing about this is that you can dash charge your phone while it's in the battery case, but this will only dash charge the phone and not the battery case when you have the OnePlus original charger plugged into the case. So moving on to the back here again, here's the big cutout for the camera and flash, and it doesn't obstruct the camera view at all. And also the flash works with this as well. So onto the keyboard now. The keyboard attaches with magnetic pins, which makes it simple to detach and attach. The bottom of the keyboard has the felt that you see on the Surface keyboard, but it's mainly on the bottom on the ASUS. On top you have a fiberglass anti-dust construction, and the keyboard has a nice and equally spaced look to it, so it's a very clean look. But the keys are cramped once you start typing in it. The touchpad is responsive and works with fingerprint gestures and has palm rejection technology. There is no backlight on the keyboard, and the keyboard does give a satisfying 1.5mm of key travel. I can type pretty good on it for a short period of time before my right hand gets uncomfortable, so it's good for doing quick edits on Word or typing emails. You can adjust the position of the keyboard. You can either have it flat or raise it up a bit. I have not really been using the keyboard honestly though, and I've been using the tablet and pen more often, so the few times that I do use the keyboard, it has been working well. So moving on to the pens now. The Microsoft Pen 4 also works on this tablet like I mentioned earlier. So the main thing I got this tablet for is to draw on it and use it for class notes. So the tablet has been doing well in drawing and okay in writing while using OneNote. While I'm taking notes in class about 1 hour into writing or more, when I click the button to use the eraser, it lags to erase or doesn't erase at all. Writing is perfect, I just run into issues re-erasing. Same thing happens when I'm using the Microsoft Pen and the ASUS Pen. So I think it's just OneNote because when I draw I don't have any issues at all. This doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does. So far it has happened 3 times in 1 week and a half that I've been using it. Restarting does help, but if I don't restart it because I'm in the middle of the class, I just have to click the eraser icon manually and erase with my finger. So that always works. So just something to keep in mind on that part. The pen is very responsive while I draw, and the pressure sensitivity has been working flawlessly. In a few seconds I will give you a demonstration on how well the tablet performs when I draw on it, but first I will give you a bit of background on my drawing experience. So here's a drawing I did back on 2015, and I did a drawing in pencil, then used a Sharpie pen to trace the lines I wanted to keep, and then I got an eraser and erased the other lines. Then I colored it using Prismacolor. Oh, and I drew on regular printing paper. Okay, so then here is a painting I did back in 2014 I believe, and this was my 3rd painting I ever did, and I was very proud of this that I framed it. Well, I tried to frame it, but it's not well secured as you can see here. Then here I have my 5th painting that I have not finished yet, and I started this on 2016. So as you can see here, I am a very big fan of Iron Man, and I like drawing Iron Man because it's a very challenging drawing because of the armor and all the intricate lines and form. I was self-taught for 4 years, and by that time I had a well-rounded concept of proportion, depth of field, and foreshortening, and all the basics on drawing. So that's a bit of background on my drawing experience. With that out of the way, let's go on to the drawing now. So first, when you have the stylus hovering over the display, any other touches become disabled so you don't accidentally end up touching or clicking what you don't want to. That is basically how the palm rejection on this tablet works. This has been working pretty good for me so far, so I can just rest my palm on the display like if I was just drawing on regular paper, and so that feels pretty natural to me. And I get a lot of control on the lines that I want to make. So the first ever digital art I ever created was my YouTube logo. So here you can see the most up-to-date logo, and I started it from scratch. I started it on my HP Envy laptop using a regular stylus, so it wasn't all that great. And here's a picture of my first logo there. You can see it's not that great. And then I used this drawing pad that I connected to the laptop, which helped on getting more details. But it took some getting used to because I had to keep looking down at the drawing pad and then at the computer screen when I was trying to do some fine details. With the ASUS tablet, I was able to draw more comfortably, and I did a lot of other minor changes. But yeah, you can see some close-ups here. I rounded the corners of the phone here, just like the new LG G6 and the Samsung Galaxy S8. So I like that look, and so I put that on the phone I have here. So that's one of the changes I did. I will be updating my logo later on, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to go with a photorealistic look on this or keep it looking cartoonish, and that's for a later time though. And that's if I'm able to master drawing on this tablet, because I am new to the digital art and there's a lot to learn on here, even though I do have like the basic concepts figured out. Because shading on here, I found that it's quite a bit different than shading on regular paper. You have to do kind of layers on here to get a nice shading. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna finally show you guys my drawing I made on here. And so can you guys guess what I'm drawing? I'm drawing Iron Man. Yeah, you probably all guessed it. I sped this up because it took me about 42 minutes to draw this, and this is longer than I would take with pencil and paper. And while I do this, I will talk to you guys more. So I ended up getting the Microsoft pen because the ASUS stylus is a very good pen, but it is very slippery in the entire body and tip on the display. When I first used the pen on the screen, there was so much friction I thought it would scratch the screen, so I ordered a tempered glass, and before the tempered glass arrived and after getting my oily fingers all over the display, the pen was just gliding everywhere. So it was very slippery. I also dropped it a lot because of how slippery the body of the pen was. So because of all of that, I decided to get the Microsoft pen, and the soft tip on the Microsoft pen gives it a nice friction when I'm drawing, so the pen is not gliding around everywhere. I also got it because the end has an eraser function, which makes it feel more natural for me when I'm erasing, and it also has better grip. Oh, and the Surface Pen clip is very sturdy and it fits into the side of the ASUS keyboard like if it were meant to come with the tablet. It is a tight fit, unlike the ASUS pen, it just falls out because the clip on the ASUS pen is very loose, and yeah, it just slides out and it damages my pen. This is a great tablet for reading, and you can download your ebooks in here. It's a nice size for reading, and I have the Windows Creator update. With this update, there's a night mode that you can turn on and off, so this is great for when you're reading at nighttime. Alright, I'm going to use this time to catch my breath, and I'll just let you guys watch me draw for a few seconds now. So here's what I ended up with. I didn't get to finish the drawing for the review as the face shading was giving me a hard time. But keep in mind, this is my second digital art drawing, and I would say that my experience on this tablet has been pretty good so far for someone who has never tried digital art before. It does take a bit getting used to, so this is a great tablet for a beginner. If you are looking into getting into this field, this is good because the tablet is not overly expensive, so in case this isn't for you, you don't end up spending on such an expensive tablet to not end up using it to its full potential. If you're an advanced artist, I think you may find this great for quick sketches on the go as it is compact and lightweight. It's like the size of a drawing book. And overall, I'm very satisfied with my purchase so far. Adding to the Microsoft pen, you can also launch the OneNote app with the click of the back button here, and you can also use other functions once you pair it with Bluetooth. I'll leave that to you guys so you can set your own preference on there, but yeah, you are able to connect the tablet to the pen using Bluetooth for the additional features that you can get on the Surface tablet. I really don't game on this tablet a lot. I got it for the purpose of drawing and taking notes in class, but it does handle well when I play asphalt racing, as you can see here. This is not the snappiest of 2-in-1 tablets out there, but it sure can handle its own when it comes down to performance compared to other tablets at this price point. There was one time when this tablet became pretty slow, so I just restarted the tablet and that helped get it up to speed. Okay, so this is the end of the video now. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So see you guys later. Catch you on the next one.